Hi, you guys. It is January 3rd and 9 at night, and I'm sorry it's so late. I understand I have to get up at 4:30 also, but trying to hit everybody every time zone. So what we're going to do tonight is talk about the next 10 days. We're going to be breaking down our goals into 10 days because I think for some of us, we have these, big, hairy, audacious goals for a year away from now. But we break them down quarterly, and we break them down and we break them down. And what we're going to do is talk about the next 10 days and how to keep track of that and how to make a measurable goal. Now, we're all in a different place. So go ahead, everybody mute themselves, and then we'll unmute. So what I did is I took a picture of the guide that I am using to do this. Now, we're going to call it our 10-day sprint. So I want you to think about your top 3 goals to accomplish in the next 10 days. 3 goals you want to accomplish. And then after those 3 goals, 1 habit that you're going to implement over the next 10 days that's going to become a habit. Just like, when we start getting healthy again and doing our fitness and doing our Shakeology, it becomes a habit. And they say that eating becomes a habit after 21 days. I believe it takes 30, but who's to argue? So what habit in business do you want to consistently do over the next 10 days so that it'll help you just become a habit, and it won't be so much of a having to have confidence in, let me put that off. What's the habit that you want to have? And what are aside from the habit, that might be one of your top 3 goals. What do you want to accomplish during the sprint? For example, now mine may be very different from yours. That's okay. I'm just going to give you mine. I don't want you to necessarily adopt mine. Mine is in the next 10 days. I want to hit Success Club 5. I want to do a What is Coaching call on probably Facebook Live, if not YouTube. And I want to set up and start my team builder training. So we all have very different goals. Now, how do you know if your goal, it's a 10-day goal? How do you know if you're going to reach that goal? And you want to think about it being a SMART goal. If you've ever heard that term, SMART means you want it to be specific, not very specific. You want it to be measurable. Can you measure that goal? So for me, I want to make Success Club 5. I would have to break that down. How am I going to measure that? The thing I've been measuring is how many appointments I make. An appointment, I've tending now to get on the phone or an appointment with a message. Hey, I'm available tomorrow at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Which is better for you? When you get to that point. So I've been measuring how many appointments I make a week, but here it's going to be 10 days. So that's a measurable goal for me, right? Because it's specific and it's measurable. Is it attainable? Yes, it's attainable because I know I have to do invites to attain that goal of making an appointment. Is it relevant? Yes, it's relevant because I want to make Success Club 5. Is it time bound? Yes, because what I'm doing is each 10-day interval or 7-day interval, I want to make sure that I've made equal or more appointments the next time around, if that makes. So that's my measure. Now, we all have a different measure. I just wanted to give you an example of what I'm doing to keep track of myself. If I break it down to how many appointments did I make this week, it lets me know. It could be 1, could be 2, could be 5. It lets me know and see a pattern of where I've dropped off, if that makes sense to you. So think about yourself, your top 3 goals that you would like to make this week, what would they be? And I'll be quiet for 2 minutes and just think about, if you can't pinpoint it, jot down thoughts. It might be something that you're thinking of for the future, but me talking gave you thoughts. What would they be? Should I move on? I don't want to move on if your brain is going. Okay. I like to pause and make people go, okay. So now what I've been doing, and I'd like us all to try this for the next 10 days. Of course, on Monday, we're going to be starting to review, how to do all this again. But each day in the morning, I know some of you have a miracle morning routine. In the morning, take a couple minutes, and I actually took a picture of the page and put it for you guys to look at, right? So, in your morning and in your night, right? So in your morning, every morning, write this down: what I am grateful for. Could be anything. Now, what we're doing is doing these 10-day sprints, for a better word. Some people have read the 12-week year, but we're just going to break this down into small, either 10-day or 7-day sprints. Think about it, which would you think would be better for the way your life works, right? So think about, now, every day this may change because you're going to write it every morning. You're going to say, what am I grateful for? And then the next 90 days, you will what? What will you have accomplished in the next 90 days? And each morning you write down, my number one focus for today is, because it's going to change day to day, right? The fourth thing, to get closer to my goal today, I will, and write 2 things. Number 5, by the end of today, I will have accomplished, and you're going to write 3 things. So we'll start it tomorrow. I mean, you can jot down now what you're thinking, right? And then just leave a space for your action plan, how you think you're going to get it done, or thoughts, right? So I put that blank piece there, but everybody, designs, the way I'm writing in a notebook, it doesn't exactly look like that. And then at night, if you don't get what you thought about in the morning done, it's not to beat yourself up. The nighttime is to reevaluate. So at night, you're going to say 2 wonderful things that happened today. Kathy's probably going to say Joseph took a nap, right? So it could be anything. Nicole's going to say she didn't come home and have to sit in her car for 2 minutes alone, right? So it's just could be anything. So you write 2 things. And then you're going to write 2 things you struggled with. And 2 possible solutions to your struggle. now, after you've said, what happened good and what you struggled with, you're going to say, tomorrow will be great because. What are you going to do different tomorrow? And then any thoughts that writing those things make you think of, because sometimes for me, like, it makes me think of, oh gosh, I need to get to this, but I can't get off track. So let me jot it down. And the thing is not to overthink it. I know that seems like a lot. I put the pieces there, and we'll do that every morning and night from now, because we're midweek, right? So like for a week and a half. Now, your goals could be, I'm doing mine centered strictly right now towards Beachbody, but you could have something else going on in your life that you have to do this for, right? Or do it for both. But I'm doing, we're talking about Beachbody, but it's a really good thing. We've done this with Chalene, with other stuff in our life, right? So it's just a really cool thing here. Now unmute and tell me your ideas. I'm going to go through what I had. Now, on day one, I'm grateful for Steve's support always, right? My 90-day goal is to have a diamond under me. I'd like it to build Julia back to diamond, right? And to be done a training with my team, and that I have 2 new emeralds under me. So that's my big 90-day goal. Because as we talked about before, when you look at your team in the back office, anybody that's under you, you can look and it says, coach downline or whatever it says in the back office. You may have 6 coaches under you and only 1's yours, right? But they're still under you. So all that volume from them is you. So that's your team, even though you might not have personally sponsored them, right? So you've got this whole team, and a really good measurable goal is how many emeralds are going to be under your team in the next 90 days. They don't necessarily have to be your personally sponsored coaches, right? Like, Alicia is above me. I'm not her coach and she's not my coach, but we're on the same line. So we work together, because if we're helping each other with our teams, our personally sponsored coaches, it helps both of us, if that makes sense. So if you think about, and I know Kathy reached out to somebody that was under her that is not her personally sponsored coach, but she comes down in her root or tree root, the way you want to think of it, because she knows if she works together with her, they both benefit. So it's worth taking a look at where you fall, to work together, because then everybody grows very strongly. So for me, my number one focus today was adding to my challenge group. I added 2. To get closer to today goal, I will do follow-ups and messages. So every day is going to be different. Now tonight, I'm up to 4 Success Club points. So that was 2 wonderful things that happened. I started planning what is coaching. I'm struggling with new invites. And I'm struggling with going back into my customer list and keeping them involved and sharing what's up and new and coming with them. So that's 2 of my struggles. So possible solutions is I need to make a schedule. I need to make a schedule that has to do with, I know I need to do power hour every day, but I need to break up my week and say, on Monday, I'm going to check that back office and reach out to anybody who's placed an order in the last 7 days. On Tuesday, I'm going to check on my coaches and see how they're doing. On Wednesday, do you see what I'm saying? So that I pick a day to do those non-power hour tasks, those non-invite tasks. So for me, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, I'll be quiet. So like where you are, I don't know if that helped you to like, you know, where I'm sharing my positives and my struggles, if that makes sense. So do you guys have any questions? Ask me questions about this. Don't ask me questions about specific clients. I'll turn it off 5 minutes at the end to do that.
I was just wondering, all the stuff you just went through, this is what we're going to start on Monday. Are you going to put this in the group for us? Do we need to go back and listen to this and make sure we get it all written down, or how's that going to work?
I actually put this as a picture, 3 pictures into our group tonight.
Okay, cool.
We will be incorporating this into the training, but you guys that are on the call now, you know, already are looking at your schedules and starting your morning thinking about, you know, what's going on. You know, I know Nicole does this with, you know, her other job. You know, she sets up her day before she gets there. So she's not a crazy woman. You know, so like, right. You know, yeah, like, you know, so, you know, it's just getting, because I wanted you to think about if this was a regular job, I want you to think, I mean, if you want to build this business, it's a regular job. And I know it's hard to think of it that way when the business costs you $15 a month if you don't want to stay active, right? And you're still a coach for $15 a month. So it's really hard to think of it as this regular job. But if it was a regular job and your boss gave you this quota that you had to make Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, you know, whatever you're working on, by the end of the month to keep your job, what would you do? Right? And it's like consistency is the secret sauce. And it's so easy. You know, when we've got 30 minutes, it's for me to turn on the TV. It's so easy because I'm in my house, right? So it's consistency is the secret sauce. And if you're not getting results, you know, I have to take a look back at myself. Why did I not have a good December? Well, I hit Success Club. I didn't hit it in November. Why did I not have a good November? You know, and where did I miss the consistency? And I know I've talked to Nicole about this, and it's we're usually 3 months different. So what you do today really affects your business 3 months from now. So if you're looking at today, can you look at 3 months before this where you're being consistent? And, you know, and that's, you know, it was August. I was sitting on the beach, right? So that's why I didn't do well in November. You know, and I have to be realistic with myself that it's me. It doesn't matter that my upline never reaches out to me and doesn't help me. It's my control if I'm being consistent. Does that make sense? You know, so I have to, you know, realize that I have control of it. So it's just something to think of. Another thing I want to talk about quickly was positive affirmations. You two don't do this, but, you know, being negative. I can't, you know, I post, you know, 3 times a day, but nobody's looking at me. And I think truly it's the genie in the bottle. If you're saying that in here, you know, that's the result you get. Does that make sense? It truly is the result you get. If you're telling the genie, I can't, that's what happens. And to have positive affirmations, you know, look at it as it's going to happen, because truly, truly, you're successful because you lead with your help, you lead with your heart, and you don't expect an outcome. And when you do that, when you're truly, like if you were sitting down with your girlfriend and you ran into each other and you were shooting the breeze and you led with your heart because she asked you something. Like if you are doing that and forming those relationships, so it just falls into place. It's crazy. And when you're center on the outcome, it doesn't. When you truly do that, it really, really works. Because your voice truly becomes your reality. Your voice really becomes your reality. And I think if we can all help each other with that, and guys can see right now in the Challenge Tracker app, because we all are so consistently, just responding to each other and high-fiving each other and saying, oh my God, great recipe, let me try it. Like, the voice in that Challenge Tracker app is just so great. And I started posting my dinner pictures and everybody's posting them. I didn't even ask them, because what we were doing became the reality. And it happens with coaching too. The only other 3 things I'll talk about here, I have been sending and posting about the All Access now on demand. I can't switch anybody. The coaches have to switch themselves. The customers have to switch themselves. So, search it in our group and search it in the frequently asked questions. We have a limited time, and if you don't switch it, you're going to still be charged. What is it? $39 a quarter, $40 a quarter, be paying $160 for it when it's $99 now. It's a business. They're not going to automatically give you the cheaper, so you got to ask for it. So please pass that on to your coaches and customers. If you don't know how to look them up, I'll tell you how to look them up, but just pass that on, because that's crazy. For $60 cheaper now, we're getting everything Beachbody ever made, and we don't have to pay extra money. So you just try to pass that on. The health bet starts Monday. I'm doing it in my group. If you don't have a group, if you have anybody that wants to be in a group, you're welcome to join my group. They don't have to be in the health bet in my group. I don't force people to do it, but I am going to be speaking in the group as though we're doing it. And the team builder starts Monday. Joseph, what are you doing awake? You're muted, Cass.
Take my headphones out.
Here, I'll stop recording so he's not on.